I've always wondered if Rome never fell, would we be like driving around chariots, doing all the things the Romans did? But if you look at Rome, or Italy at least, they don't work as much, and they're like a vacation country, what I've heard. But yet they still have aspects of Rome there. If you visit it, you visit the Colosseums, the museums, the history, and then you have what's known as the Roman Catholic Church, which is also a site that you're like, well, me being Protestant, I'd be like, well, this is kind of the enemy in a way, That's why, I'm reading Cormac McCarthy, No Country for Old Men. He obviously, to my opinion, or from my point of view, is I'm assuming he's got Catholic in his background, He's got some knowledge of Catholicism, because, the way he speaks from the point of view of characters or whatever is still knowledge. You mentioned someone's first communion, like a Protestant wouldn't even really think about a first communion. That's like Catholic tongue, unless they're just complete genius and they talk about it. I've been to like the communion mass kind of thing, To me, it's impersonal and distant. And it's neat to look at and listen to, but it gets like really boring really quick when you have to listen to everything in Latin. You don't know what they're talking about. You don't even really know what to say to God. You just know, oh, God is good, and here's this cup, and here's some bread, and it's like a very trite general understanding. But with the Protestant, they'll pick everything apart. And then they start to realize, oh wow, we're all corrupt. Oh wow, so you're actually no more evil than I am. And there's no pure good, but of course Jesus Christ only. Wow. And here you are telling me what to do. I wonder how you got that kind of power. It's probably the stuff that Martin Luther probably thought about or something, It's like, who are you to tell me? That's what a Catholic once told me. When I knew that I was not being invited to the table. The lines that they use are, who am I to tell you? But if I would not have left, who would they call? Well, who else would they call? They're not going to call the Ghostbusters. They're not going to call Mr. Peak and Mr. Brown or Mr. Blonde. They're not going to call them. Who are they going to call? Right. And what happens if those people aren't around anymore? Then who do they call? Well, they would cry out to God, is who they'd cry out to. You know what I mean? That's obviously in Revelations. A land becoming slowly lawless, is not an invention from my point of view. If I say it doesn't matter if I say it or not. It's already written. You know what I mean? There will be a time that day will come if it's not already arrived. Do you see? And you will be invited to my table. I'll never kick you from your table. Or I'll never kick you from my own table. Is really the right way to say it. Person with a dog. Isn't that interesting? (736.8) 2.4. I don't know. Nothing's given easily, I knew that if I would have stayed in Hollywood, after doing The Majestic, being on an episode of the X-Files, Moonlight Mile, Dustin Hoffman and Jake Gyllenhaal. What was the other one? The Bum, Drake Dormus's AFI project. to get an AFI, and then the play that I did, and kept on and on and on and on. That's what can go on for 5 years. And then usually, they reward you with at least a one-liner. Then you pay the $3,000 for SAG, which is Screen Actors Guild, and you keep on, you keep on, you keep on. And it's either a jackpot or not. Most likely, you probably, if you really hustle to the auditions and find good management, a good way to get there every day, there's a good chance you might get a 1 or 2 line on either television or maybe a movie. A lot of them are scared of movies because movies are risque, depending on the movie and what it represents, because you don't always know. If you have a little tiny line, what can this movie really be about, A diamond heist that goes wrong, and a cop gets his ear cut off and locked into a trunk and then burned alive, and everyone gets shot. Guy who slowly bleeds to death. What? I was supposed to just say these 2 lines in a little coffee house, because they're not gonna. Well, they might give the script to everybody. I don't know, depending on who you are. I didn't know what freaking Moonlight Mile would be about. They called it Babies in Black at the time. It could have been about anything. I was told backstage, first of all, Hoffman was in it, and I was we had no idea who Jake Gyllenhaal was at the time. He was like a teenager nearly. So I was told it was about a music producer, and I have to go back and watch Moonlight Mile. So I don't see that at all. It's about a music producer that discovers hidden talent. Babies in Black. What in the world? Babies in Black. And that was Moonlight Mile, which is a sleeper. It's just a sleeper. It's so many, they pumped so many out. Back then, Blockbuster was full of VHS. Now it's Redbox here and there, and it must be insane. The extra calls, who knows? Plus, the cost of living is insane. Okay, so here's what's going on right now. 18 subways in California have been closed because Subway cannot keep up with $20 an hour for fast food delivery, or fast food, anything. And supposedly Chipotle is getting hit. And only 99-cent stores are closed. Now, this is going to be California going all the way to Texas, supposedly, but we have a few around here, and I haven't heard anything about it. It sounds so familiar. Yeah, it's probably the same as last time. Only 99-cent stores. So Dollar Tree. No, I can't work there. Dollar Tree, will probably be the lead person now. I was never really impressed with only 99 cents. Things like $12.99, $20.99. Now they do like $9.99, .99. What in the world? That's what we have to deal with. Subway's better stay around. Gotta eat healthy sometime. Storm door. I don't know, this wood plank thing. It's kind of weird. It's like walking wood plank. Alright. They're known as Harris Gardens. Didn't even know they existed. Not too bad. I've just changed the wood floor a little bit. All right, first of the three, 811 5.7. So I knock in, and well, actually, I walk in, and I look at this right here, and I knock over the clock with the pizza thing. I'm like, oh, I'm just redecorating. Would you like some Italian food? Okay, so what are you supposed to say? Because it's just like New York bars in there. It's like cramped. So you just walk in, no room at all. Clock goes flying off the wall. Like, hey, is Danielle here? Yeah, for, never mind. Italian food. All right, analyzing crazy behavior. So what I saw was a cop car here and then a white rideshare looking vehicle. Then I saw a purse carried by a police officer slapped onto the cruiser car. Then I saw a cop running down this way, which is probably a restaurant. My analyzation, rideshare driver, purse in the back. They didn't check. They don't always answer, because I did rideshare for like 2.5 years. You don't always have time to really answer. And they're calling them like crazy, and they've already got the other passenger that'd be picked up calling them like crazy. So they got one person on hold saying, hang on. Whether that was that or search and seizure or what it was one cop running down this way and then a purse being put on top of a hood. So, you know, I mean, you could probably come up with maybe 50 different. It was like right there. This was like maybe, I don't know, 2 hours ago. It's still daylight. I had to think about it for a while, going like, why would he be running down this way? But purse, I saw a purse and a cop carrying a purse. That was a male cop carrying a purse. Obviously, that was a lost purse. Now, if it was a purse snatching, they'd probably confiscate the purse from probably evidence, takes photos of it, and then send it back. But then again, if it was a rideshare incident, it's like, hey, can she have her purse back so she didn't lose her purse? I don't know. Yeah, they can trace. So what happens is they have like usually they don't run after phones. In my rideshare experience, and we'll just switch it over, the guy called and said his phone was in my car. And I was like, and I searched it, like the vacuum cleaner, everything. That was connected to Lyft. And I was like, no, I left it there. And he called, and because they shouldn't really even be able to, you know, because it's encrypted. So you only have so much to call. So if she hit the emergency button and said, yeah, we'll track them down and get the purse. And then they're running through, you know, I know they don't go after phones, but I guess they go after purses because I guess it has ID and everything. I don't know. Guess they could. Rideshare is like quick, and that's that's my theory on just kind of looking at the situation, rather than it being maybe oh, they're busy tonight, rather than being a purse snatching, you know, why would a purse snatching be in almost a $50,000 SUV that's, you know, brand new? Maybe it was a 2020, 2019 SUV, you know, with chrome, you know, all around the vehicle and stuff. You know what I mean? That was probably a ride share because the vehicle is nice. Or, you know, like I could say it could have been. I don't think it would have been a search thing because they wouldn't display the purse like that, and then one wouldn't go running. Like, all right, we have your purse here. We don't want you to lose your purse. I don't know. Or it was just a freaking scene for my movie to talk about. You know, for the video right now. You never know like what the real purpose was. It's weird. Because you got an organization that's directly connected to pretty much like crime, everyone looks shady. You know? That's why everyone's wearing shades in that particular situation in a lot of cases. I don't know. It's law. You know, law is in like every literature thing. Almost all, not all literature talks about law, but a lot of it does. Analyzation of really what law is, legality. It goes all the way back to like John Bunyan. You know, but I've heard, from what I heard, is they don't go running after phones. And A Cat Named Crook is all about that kind of stuff. Which we're not going to be getting that. Like, we're going to be preparing for that for a whole year before we lift off on A Cat Named Crook. And I don't even think the closest to any type of authority figure probably in that is either Hopper Head, who's actually doesn't really know. We don't know for sure if he even really knows or pretends like he doesn't know about the refurbishing business of smartphones. And then, of course, the Bird, which is basically like an investigator with one of these things. You have to watch it because I'm still developing it. That's where all this development comes from. That's why I think it's cool if like Scorsese could have done an intense documentary of the development of Taxi Driver, but they didn't have enough footage then. They didn't have these. Anyway, rideshare is completely crazy business. I wrote about that called Once in a Lifetime, which is a screenplay. Don't ever go full circle and revisit that screenplay. I don't know if that'll ever happen. It'd be interesting. This one? Nope. It's gonna be the first decision. As the Chinese say, always your first decision. I told her we're running low on pizza, but we have tons of ranch. Would you like a cup of ranch? She's like, I hear this, I'll just drink it. Drink the ranch. No, we had plenty. Plenty of, they call them garlic knots. Here's your garlic knots and your cup of ranch. Will that do? Will that be okay? This time, just one time. Just one time, please. Just make it work. The hungry delivery guy. He's like wiping pizza sauce off his face. Here's your ranch. Let's see if I can work this. Been there for a while. Yeah, patience is an interesting thing. I love those people that pass you, either like on the road or even the highway, like they zip by, and then you just slowly pull up right next to them as if they're at that stoplight. But yet, they're waiting in the line that's longer. Just slowly pass by them. It's always a great feeling. The lesson of patience, the virtue. All right, next one, 84072.6. So Apple Maps, I think it's acquired, learning like all these. There's a 3D one. You can find it, yeah. I think maybe it's possibly might be that one. Yeah, and it goes back into this one. I think you have to hit it on the app. It's the fun one to try to command, as you could say. But user-friendly. I guess, if you used it quite a bit. There's probably advantages of all three when it comes to Google Maps, Waze, and then, of course, Apple Maps. I'm not really doing a review on any of them. The only time I ever plug in 3 of them is when I have a 3B, usually, which is the third one of the set, which I should have announced. But I don't know. I'm just used to Google Maps, but Waze is. I guess I would go Google Maps, Waze, and then Apple. That's probably the like. If I was on vacation, I might go with Apple. There is something kind of calming about it. I don't know what the vocal, like, I try to avoid some of the, turn right here, turn left, then right, 100 feet, then turn right, then turn left, get out of your car, jump up and down, move around, Now they're doing this thing on the news, or they showed it last night. They're having a buddy. It's an AI buddy. It chats with you. It's like, hey, we're going out tonight. I go, well, where are you going to be? It tries to make you more sociable. It's basically like an AI friend. It's basically R2D2, but it talks. This is going to be, writers will be employed. This will have moral. This is going to be like the church is going to be talking about this. What makes a friend? Jesus wasn't like, we're turning right here. Or maybe he was. I don't know. Everybody, 3,000 fish to be unloaded. Over this way. Begin handing out the fish now. Oh, they left the gate open. Okay. You know what I mean? We'll perform a miracle here. Put mud on your eyes and turn around and go to the fountain. So I actually know these people. They got their walk in Mexico. Should I still do that? I need pizza with them.